Alright, testing audio, testing movement. Alright, just test one more test, audio and movement. Alright, great. Hello everyone, this is Gundam Ace, aka John Hooper. I'm here on my streaming of Rebellion Secret Games second stage. Last time we finished the main oh, it's a little loud. It's probably just a menu song, I'm guessing. But I'll try going into out of the menu then. Anyway, this is Gundam Ace, aka John Hooper. I'm here on my streaming of Rebellion's Secret Game second stage. Last time we left off, we finished the main story of the game, and that concluded the Switch version. However, the PC version has an additional route, a sort of a side story that's unlocked after finishing the entire main story, and that's what we're going to be playing today. It's not a terribly long route, definitely longer than Episode D, but probably not too much longer, maybe only a few more streams longer worth of content. But anyway, that's what we're getting into today. It's Episode Z, Zero Wing Rebel. So without further ado, let's begin. Ever since the day he gave me his life, I've occasionally remembered that promise in my mind. And like water and like ripples, sorry, and like a drop on the water's surface. That promise always spreads, filling me with doubts and regret. I spent a year fighting until the day I could break my promise with him. But was that choice really right? Honestly, I still haven't found the answer to that yet. I've decided not to hesitate any longer. To rebel against injustice, and to save those being oppressed by injustice. And right now, after 10 days, this game of life and death is finally reaching its end. Not too much longer, guys. We'll be at the port. We'll be at the harbor soon. Yuna took careful as she grabbing on the steering wheel, not to lose her grip on the steering wheel on the sandy beach, as she spoke to her comrades in the car. Shuhei, Kotomi, Tsukasa, Rei, Kurokawa, Hasane, Mariko. They'd broken through the perimeter set up by the Administrator's execution squad, and so the 7 of them had managed to make it all the way to the beach. But they already lost 6 lives along the way. Mitsuru, Majima, Daisuke, Yui, Haruna, Hitomi. I won't let anyone else die. I don't want to lose anyone else. Yuna swore that in her heart, and gripped the steering wheel. But at that moment, there was a brilliant flash right in front of her. Is everyone okay? Yes, somehow. More importantly, the enemy's coming. Guys, get out of the car. Yuna, are you alive? Fujita, hide behind the shadow behind the car. But Yuna's... When she came to her senses, Yuna realized her body had lost all sensation. Yet her heart and her heart alone was hot. Almost like her lungs had been torn. But just what had happened? Her memories were fuzzy from the shock just now. So she didn't understand the situation all that well. Seems she also considerably lost a great deal of consciousness. Before long, she heard several strange sounds. Are these gunshots? Someone's fighting nearby. But why? Who's fighting? And what for? Her consciousness faded into darkness as she thought about that. Unable to fight back, she was slowly dragged to the depths of the underworld. But isn't there something I need to be doing? But Yuna's consciousness merely sunk into darkness. And in that frozen period of time, Yuna had a long, long dream. Yuna, having blacked out at some point, the first thing she felt as she was stirring back into consciousness was the sound of the wind rustling the leaves. Next, there was a scent of greenery that flooded into her nostrils. But something was strange. Feeling something was off, Yuna slowly opened her eyes. Huh? She got up, looked around, and found herself in the forest. She didn't know why she'd been lying there. Her memories of everything that happened, the process of how she got here, were completely gone, almost as though she had amnesia. But before long, her memories slowly began to weave themselves back together. I was right. It was when she was on her way home after having dinner out. When she reached an abandoned parking lot, Yuna suddenly heard someone call her name from behind. Yuna Todo, I presume? Yuna had lost her. It had been 3 years since Yuna had lost her parents to illness. Ever since then, there had been, she come into contact with an annoying number of people who were after the not so small inheritance her parents had left her. So Yuna knew what the person who was calling out to her wanted the instant she heard his voice. He was probably trying to steal something from her, no doubt about it. That implication was hidden in his voice. Hold on a second. It was then that Yuna suddenly elbowed him. She was scared from someone having suddenly called out to her in the middle of a dark street. She'd think if she was wrong and caused some sort of problem, she'd think about an excuse then. Of course, she was confident she could take him down in this single hit. Ever since the day she decided to live on her own, Yuna had trained herself, in the event something like this ever happened. She had a fair amount of combat experience with delinquents around town. But the man easily caught her elbow. I see. Not too bad for an amateur. The last thing Yuna saw was the man smirking. Then right after that, she felt something press against the back of her neck. And so I woke up in this forest, huh? Why'd they leave me here? If they were after money, isn't it a little weird that they didn't tie me up? It's kind of stupid on their part. Wait, does that mean they're after my body? Yuna's whole body broke out into goosebumps, and she frankly, checked to see if her clothes, checked to save her clothes. But fortunately, there was nothing, there was no disturbances either above or down below. But instead... What's this collar? Wait, is this a... Sorry, I lost the audio for a bit. How far back was it? What was the last line I narrated? Alright, alright, okay, don't tell me. Is this some sort of fetish? Sheesh, I'm not into that kind of shit, you know? Didn't matter if she destroyed it or not. Yuna reached her fingers out for the gaps between the collar and tugged it forward with all her might. Despite the fact it was eating into her neck, she paid no heed and tried pulling on it with all her might, but then...
首輪に衝撃が加えられています。直ちに首輪から手を離してください。
Vibrations have been detected in your collar. Please let go immediately.
警告を無視し続けた場合、首輪を爆破します。
Should you continue to ignore the warning, your collar will detonate.
ちょっと、何よ爆破って。
Wait, what? What the hell's this blow up? What the hell is this detonation crap? Startled, you let go of the collar and looks in the direction she'd heard the warning. And just then she noticed something with a black luster lying at her feet.
これって。
What's this? Picked up to find it was a cell phone. No, a PDA. When she looked at it, she found the same warning as before written on the screen as text.
じゃあ、さっきの警告音もこの PDA が？
And that warning came from this PDA as well?
でもどうして？一体何がどうなってるの？
But why? What's going on here? Everything that happened was all so sudden that it was making her more and more confused. However, this PDA was her only hint in this otherwise incomprehensible situation. Though bewildered, Yuna pressed the PDA operation button. And what she found written there was that she was being forced to participate in some sort of bizarre game, and the information related to it. Okay, so I think it's all the same rules, so let's run over quickly. Okay, yep, all the rules were the same. Personal data. Yuna Todo. Player number Ace. Alright, clear condition. Do not spend 3 or more hours separated from at least one other player and act alongside with them. However, this condition begins only after the briefing. Special function. View a player's PDA screen within a designated player's PDA screen remotely from within 300 meters of them. However, this function can only be used once a minute and only 13 times in total. Remaining usages, 13.
つまり私はさらわれてきた挙句、このわけのわからないゲームのプレイヤーにさせられてるってわけか。
So not only was I grabbed, but being forced to play his messed up game, huh? Yuna had a grasp on her situation and looked around again. Just then, she saw a surveillance camera.
ムカつくわね。
This really pisses me off.
どこのバカが何の目的でやってるのか知らないけど、悪趣味にも程があるわ。
I don't know I don't know what dumbass is doing this and for what reason, but sick taste can only go so far.
ちょっとカメラの向こうにいるあんた、聞こえてるんでしょ？ 何か言ったらどうなのよ。
Hey, you there behind the camera. You can hear me, right? How about saying something?
応答なし。
No response, huh?
ま、パーソナルデータの中に説明会って言葉があったから、その時に声を聞くくらいはできるだろうけど。
Well, my personal data did mention something about a briefing. So I'll probably be able to hear them then. Then, just as Yuna looked away from the camera, she heard rustling in the thicket nearby. And the sound gradually grew closer and closer to Yuna. Yuna put her PDA in her pocket and narrowed her eyes at the wood in the forest. As long as she didn't have a full grasp of the game right now, she had no idea what would happen. A chill ran down her spine. But eventually, she heard from the other side of the thicket.
すみません。今からそちらへ行ってもいいですか？
Excuse me? Can they come over there?
は？
What? That out of place, carefree voice sent all attentions flying from her shoulders. And even though Yuna hadn't responded yet, that person parted their way through the woods, through the thicket.
<sighs> ようやく人に会うことができました。
Phew. I finally found someone.
気づいたらこんな森の中にいてどうしようかと思っていたんです。
When I woke up in this forest, I know what I was gonna do.
でもこれで一安心ですね。
But this will load off my mind. A slender body, tender face, long hair. At first glance, he looked like a woman. But upon seeing his uniform, it would seem he was a man.
なんなのよ、あんた。
Who are you?
僕は牧岡明と言います。
My name is Akira Makioka.
あなたは？
And you are?
私は東堂優奈よ。
I'm Yuna Todo.
へえ、ゆうなさんって言うんですか。いい名前ですね。
Yuna, is it? That's a nice name.
ずいぶん能天気なことを言うのね。今がそういうお世辞を言っていられる状況だとでも思ってるの？
Someone sure is carefree, huh? Do you ever think this is the kind of time for stuff like this?
Eh?
Oh, sorry, this is a situation for stuff like this? Huh?
じゃないわよ。
Don't give me that.
あんたがしてるその首は。あんただって私と同じプレイヤーの一人なんでしょ？
You're wearing a collar, so that means you're a player just like me, aren't you?
プレイヤーですか。それ何ですか？
Player? What's that mean?
は？
What?
なんであんたそんなこともわからないのよ。 PTA の中身を確認してないんじゃないでしょうね。
How is it that you don't know that? Haven't you checked your PDA yet?
PDA？
What now?
もしかして
Oh, maybe you mean...
PDA っていうのはこの小さな機械のことですね。
You mean the small machine?
いや、もしかしなくたってそれがそうよ。
No, not maybe. It is one.
だいたいあんた、なんでこのご時世にそれを小さな機械呼ばわりしちゃってるわけ？
Besides, why are you calling it a small machine in this day and age?
せめて携帯電話と間違えるくらいの根性を見せなさいよ。
At least have the guts to mistake it for a cell phone or something.
すみません。
I'm sorry.
実は僕、未だに携帯電話にも触れたことがないんです。父と姉が厳しくて。
Truth be told, I've actually never touched a cell phone before. My father and sister are very strict. Sheesh. Is this guy some pampered rich kid? She's feeling stupider and stupider if I've ever gotten tensed up at from someone like this.
ね、あんた、それの使い方わかるの？
So, do you know how to use
い
it?
や、それが皆目。
Nope, not at all.
あ、そうだ。ねえ、ゆうなさん。
Oh, I know. Hey, Yuna.
何よ。
What?
この機械PDA でしたよね。よかったらこれの使い方を僕に教えていただけませんか？
This machine, a PDA, was it? If you don't mind, would you explain to me how to use it?
なんで私があんたにそんなことしてやらなきゃなんないのよ。
Look here. Why do I have to do something like that for you?
でも他に頼める人もいないですし。
But I've no one else I can ask. Akira stared at, Yuna with a truly troubled look in his eyes. A heartfelt, troubled look in his eyes.
わかったわよ。
Fine.
でもその前に、その機械は PDA じゃなくて PDA よ。はい、復唱。
But first things first, the thing's not a PDA, it's a PDA. Alright? Now repeat it.
PDA？
そう。今度間違えたら容赦しないわよ。
Right. Next time you mess it up, I won't show you any mercy.
はい、わかりました。
Right, I understand.
よろしい。
Very well then.
じゃあまず最初はそこの角にあるボタンを押して電源を入れてから。
Well, first things first, you press that button in the corner there, turn the power on, and then...
あー、この部分ですね。
this part, right?
バカ、違うわよ。こっちよ、こっち。
No, you idiot. Over here.
これですね。
You mean this?
だからこれだってば。
No, I mean this. And so Yuna shouted at Akira. Sorry, then 50 minutes after Yuna shouted at Akira and explained to him how to use a PDA.
ここをこうして、
So I do
それ
this,
からここをこうすればと。
and I do this here, and
あー、出てきた。
oh, it showed
ユ
up.
ナさん、ほら、見てください。
Yuna, look at this.
これが僕のパーソナルデータです。やっと一人でここまでできるようになりました。
This is my personal data. I can finally do all this much on my own now.
ちょっとあんた何やってんの？
Hey, what the hell are you doing?
え？
Huh?
だからさっき一緒にルールも確認したじゃない。そんなの自分から見せるバカがどこにいんのよ。
I mean, we looked at the rules. We checked the rules together, didn't we? What kind of idiot do you have to be to show that kind of stuff to me?
あ、そっか。
Oh, I get
こ
it.
ういうのはあまり他人に見せない方がいいんでしたね。ついうっかりしてました。
I'm not really supposed to show this to others, aren't I? I can't totally slip my mind there.
ったく頼むわよ、ほんと。
Sheesh. I swear, you're impossible. For Yuna, who still didn't know if he was an enemy or an ally, she figured he had to be insane to try to show his personal data to others. Well, now she gained some necessary information. And realized she could finally treat Akira as an equal player, a player on equal
それ
ground.
であんたはこれからどうするの？
So, what are you gonna do now?
僕ですか？
Huh? Me?
そうですね。
Good question. Then, just as Akira began to think,
メール？
an email?
僕の方にも来てますね。
Oh, looks like it's come to mine as well. This is the same message about the briefing will be held in the central control facility, and gives directions and says that there's no penalties to not attending.
早
Don't know about
速説明会のお誘いか。
Send an invitation to the briefing quick, huh?
ねえあんた、ちゃんとメールは読めたんでしょうね。
Hey, you can read you can read the email, can't you?
はい、大丈夫です。そのやり方もさっきユーナさんにちゃんと教えていただきましたから。
Yes, I'm alright. You taught me how to do so earlier after all.
あ、そう。
Oh, really now?
え？あんた、説明会はどうするの？なんか自由参加みたいだけど。
So, what are you gonna do about this briefing? Looks like you can go. You're sorry. Looks like you don't have to go if you don't want to.
そうですね。
Let me think.
ユーナさんはどうするんですか？
Oh, what are you gonna do, Yuna?
あのね、質問は私がしたのよ。
Look, I'm the one asking the question here, alright?
僕はどっちでもいいんです。だからユーナさんにお任せします。
I'm fine either way, so I'll leave it up to you.
お任せしますって。まさか、私と一緒に行動するつもりじゃないでしょうね。
Leave it to me. You're not telling me you're planning on coming with me, are you?
ええ、もちろんそのつもりです。
Yes, of course. That's the plan.
ユーナさんには PDA の使い方を教わった恩がありますから。
I owe you for teaching me how to operate PDA after all. Yuna's head hurt at his innocent smile. But Yuna needed to save at least one player as her partner in order to fulfill her clear condition. And what's more, she didn't think the remaining other players like Akira, any players like Akira who she wouldn't feel the need to keep her guard up around.
わかったわ。とりあえず一緒に説明会会場へ行きましょう。それからのことはその後ね。
Fine. Let's just go to the briefing together for now. We'll figure out we'll figure out what to deal. Sorry, we'll figure out what to do after that once it's over. You said that of a sigh, and brought the rather unreliable Akira along with her as they headed for the central control facility. And then, when the sun began to rise, Yuna and Akira safely arrived at a concrete building. When they went inside, the first thing that caught their eye was a board that said, "The briefing will be held in the conference room up the stairs on the right side at the end." Yuna and Akira follows instructions, head up to the second floor.
この部屋みたいね。
Looks like it's this room, huh?
何人くらい来ているんでしょうか？
How many people are here, you think?
さあね。
Beats me. In the end, what other players aside from them were in this game? Will we get an angel or a devil? Yuna took a deep breath, resolved herself, and gently pushed the door open. Three pairs of eyes all trained on Yuna and Akira. They all had collars, so at a glance, they could tell at a glance they were also players. There was also a stiff atmosphere full of the scent of cigarette smoke. The conference room was filled with tension that made it difficult to even breathe. Yuna wondered how long they'd been like this. Well, a single player broke the silence.
皆さん、はじめまして。
Nice to meet you, everyone.
僕は牧岡明と言います。
My name is Akira Makioka.
そしてこちらは東堂優奈さんです。どうぞよろしくお願いします。
And this is Yuna Todo. I hope we all get along.
ちょっと、なんであんたが勝手に私の名前までバラしてんのよ。
Hey, who said you could get out my name like that?
え
Huh?
もしかしてダメだったんですか？
Did I screw up?
当たり前でしょ。もし向こうが名前を指定するような特殊機能を持ってたらどうしてくれんのよ。
Of course. What are you gonna do if one of them has a special function that designates us by that requires designating a name?
それもそうですね。
Oh, I didn't think of that.
でも優奈さん、早めに名乗っておかないと皆さんから変なあだ名で呼ばれてしまうかもしれませんよ。
But Yuna, if we didn't give our names right away, they might start calling us by some weird nicknames, right?
例えばそうですね、赤いおてんば娘とか。
Sorry, one sec. Alright, back. Like, for example, red-haired tomboy.
あんたもしかして私に喧嘩売ってんの？
Are you trying to pick a fight with me?
いいえ、とんでもありません。
No, don't be ridiculous.
僕は優奈さんが身体的特徴で呼ばれてしまわないか心配なだけです。
I'm just worried about you getting that you might be labeled by your looks or
う
something.
るさいわね。大きなお世話よ。
Shut up. Mind your business.
そうでしたか。
Oh, I see.
わかりました。優奈さんがそこまで嫌がるのでしたら。
Alright. If you're that against it, then.
皆さん、申し訳ありませんが、優奈さんが東堂優奈という名前だということは、どうか一度忘れてください。
I'm very sorry, everyone, but please forget that Yuna's name is Yuna Todo. Right now, please.
あんたね。
You idiots.
そんなこと言われて、はいそうですかって忘れられる人間がどこにいんのよ。
What kind of person would just forget after being told something like that?
え？でも僕の姉なら何の苦もなく。
Huh? But my sister has no difficulty with that at all.
鶏じゃないんだから。どういう脳内構造してんのよ、あんたの姉さんは。
We're not chickens. What kind of brain does your sister have anyway? So what was this pampered rich kid all about? Just then, the three who were watching that exchange suddenly changed their expressions.
なんだよ君たちいきなりそのやりとりは反則すぎるよ
What's with you guys? Having a conversation like that's against the rules.
そんなことされたらずっと緊張してた俺たちがバカみたいに見えるじゃないか
If you do that, we're gonna look like such idiots for being all tense, you know that?
知らないわよ、そんなこと。文句があるならこっちのお坊ちゃんに言いなさいよね。
I don't care about that. If you got a complaint, give it to that rich brat over there.
優奈さん、僕はお坊ちゃんではありません。僕の家はどちらかというと貧乏なんですから。
Yuna, I'm not a rich kid. If I had to say, my family's actually poor.
ああ、うるさい。あんたはもう喋るな。
Shut up. Just keep your mouth closed.
ちょっと、 そっちのあんたもいつまで笑ってんのよ。
Hey, how long are you gonna keep laughing?
ごめんごめん。
My bad, my bad.
でも重苦しい空気を壊してくれてほっとしたよ。
I'm just relieved that we got out of that stifling atmosphere.
俺の名前は崎村騎信。
My name is Kishin Sakimura.
よろしくな、アキラくん。
Nice to meet you, Akira.
それに真っ赤なおてんば娘ちゃんも。
Same to you, red-headed tomboy.
ほらユーナさん、やっぱり僕の言った通りじゃないですか。
See, Yuna? I told you, didn't I?
だからうるさいって言ってるでしょうが。
For the last time, will you shut up?
おっと、悪い悪い。
My bad, my bad.
ああ、ほら、そっちのおっさんも自己紹介したら。いつまでも黙ってたって話が進まないだけなんだからさ。
Oh, hey, old man, how about you introduce yourself? If you keep quiet, if you keep staying quiet, you're not gonna get anywhere, you know?
まあそうだな。
Well, you make a fair point.
俺は三島英語。呼び方はそっちの好きにすりゃいい。
My name is Eigo Mishima. Feel free to call me however you like.
わかりました。ではこれからは英語さんと。
All right. And I'll call you Eigo.
はいよ。
Fine with me.
さあ、最後はそっちのお嬢ちゃんの番だ。
All right. It's your turn that last, Missy.
あ？なんだよ、なんか言えよ。
Oh, are you gonna say something?
おいおい、だんまりかよ。これだから近頃のガキってのは困るね。
Oh, silent treatments, really? Kids these days, I swear. Eigo's sigh of exasperation. When the girl saw that, she frowned at him with irritation.
はい、ルイどうぞ。
あ？
Huh?
あれ今のって。
What was that?
なんか日本語の響きじゃなかったような。
That didn't sound like Japanese, did
っ
it?
てことはもしかして。
Wait, does that mean...
あ What's your name? Please tell us.
ね私ソフィア言う。ソフィア・トレビ・マンサネーロ。
I, Sophia. Sophia Trevi Manzanero.
へえ、ソフィアさんですか。
Oh, so Sophia, is it?
なんだ、ちゃんと日本語も喋れるんじゃない。
See? What? So you can speak Japanese, can't you?
それでソフィアちゃんはどこの国の人なんだ？もしかして日本人とのハーフとか？
So then, what country are you from, Sophia? Could you be you're half Japanese?
あれ？
Huh?
お前、喋る少し早い。
You talk too quick.
ソフィア、聞くの苦手。早いは難しい。
Sophia, bad at listening. Difficult when fast. Just so it doesn't look, just so it's clear, Sophia is, speaking in broken Japanese, so I'm just trying to replicate that with English, so I'm not, it's deliberate, that's all I'm trying to say.
そうだったんだ。
Oh, is that right?
ねえソフィアさん、あなたが生まれた国はどこですか？
Say, Sophia, what country were you born in?
生まれた国。
Country born in?
メヒコ。
Mexico.
メヒコ？どこの国よそれ。
Mexico? Where's that?
メキシコだよ、ユーナちゃん。
Oh, so it's Mexico. You sorry, she was saying Mexico, as in the actual Spanish pronunciation of it.
メキシコ？
Mexico?
でも、どうしてそんな遠いところから？
But why'd you come from somewhere so far?
それ、ソフィアもわからない。ソフィア、言葉を覚えたの。2ポンで稼ぐため。 ソフィア、日本で仕事してた。でも今日。
How's that? Alright, sorry about that. Accidentally hit control there. Alright, what was the last thing you heard? Unfortunately, I accidentally hit control, so I'm just gonna have to use the backlog for a bit. Okay, let's go through all the Sophia lines again. Sophia, no, that either. Sophia learned language to make living in Japan. Sophia worked in Japan, but today, when woke up, was here. When she said that, Sophia looked down with anxiety, the first display of emotion she'd shown up till now.
そっか、ソフィアちゃんもそんな感じだったんだ。
I see. So that's what it was like for you too, huh, Sophia?
俺も友達と飲んだ帰りに一人でタクシーに乗ったらぷっつり記憶が途切れて気づいたらここにいたからな。
I was on my way back home from drinking with a friend. I got on a taxi on my own. Then my memory is cut off. And when I came to, I was here. It seemed there wasn't much of a difference to the players here in the aspect that they were all suddenly brought to this game field. Yuna also recalled her memories from last night and felt fury welling up in her gut. But just then, Eigo muttered something that Yuna heard.
まったく、俺たちも随分舐められたもんだな。
Sheesh. They really are screwing with us, huh? Eigo had said us. Perhaps he was referring to everyone who was in that room, to everyone who was in this place, but Yuna was curious what he truly meant by that.
なんだよ姉ちゃん。俺の顔になんかついてんのか？
What is it, little miss? I got something on my face?
なんでもないわよ。
It's nothing.
あ？
Huh?
ならこっちをジロジロ見るのはやめてくれや。気分悪いだろそういうの。
Stop staring at me. It's creeping me out. Eigo said that, looking back at Yuna himself. No matter how she thought about it, the calm in his eyes didn't look like that of an ordinary citizen. Just who was he? Just as that question came to Yuna's mind, small static flowed from the speaker near the ceiling, and then.
本日は皆様、お集まりいただき大変ありがとうございます。
We thank all of you for gathering here on this day.
これより今回のゲームに関する説明会を始めさせていただきます。
Fourth, we will now commence the briefing of this game. The voice that came from the speaker was neither high nor low, and wasn't particularly unique either. But even when Yuna heard it, she felt it was an unpleasant voice. After that, the administrator began the briefing, starting off with an expanded explanation of the rules. There were 14 players in total. Each player had one PDA modeled off a playing card. Also, each PDA had its own fixed, clear condition special function. Furthermore, players have to secure food and water on their own, and for that they would need to obtain memory chips. However, the air began to grow uncomfortable when the administrator also mentioned that if you use a memory chip, you may also find weapons as well. We have prepared special information in another room for you to understand the dangers of this game. After hearing that, the group was guided to the room next door. And after they came back, all of them had pale faces.
信じられないわ。あんな風に人の命をもてあそぶなんて。
I can't believe it. Toying with people's lives like that.
そんなものが特別情報だなんて。
Call that special information?
イカれてるよ。このゲームを運営してる連中は。
The guys running this game are nuts.
まあいるね。まったく。
Sheesh. Sucks. There was a mountain of corpses in the next room over. The losers of the previous game weren't indeed enough to drive home the dangers of this game. Just then, another emotionless voice echoed from the speaker.
それでは皆様、このゲームの本質を理解していただけたところで、何か質問はございますか?
So then, now that you all understand the true nature of this game, do you have any questions?
ふざけないで！何がゲームの本質よ！
Don't give us that crap! What do you mean by the true nature of this game?
ああ、ユーナちゃんの言う通りだ。
Yeah, Yuna's right.
おいおい、二人ともそんなこと言ってても始まらねえんじゃねえのか?
Whoa, whoa, guys. Nothing's gonna move forward if you say stuff like that.
何よ。じゃああんたはこのまま泣き寝入りするっていうわけ？
Sorry, one sec. And what, are you just saying we should just lie down and accept our situation? Oops, not again. Sorry. Alright. Let me go back.
いや別にそうは言ってねえだろ。
No, he didn't say anything like that at all.
ソフィア、質問ある。いいか？
Sophia, have question. That okay?
ええ、もちろんです。
Yes, of course.
ちょっと、ソフィア！
Hey, Sophia!
ちょっと、ソ
Oh,
フィア！
sorry. Oops, sorry.
うるさい。ソフィア、質問する。
Shut up. Sophia asking question.
ソフィア、これからクリアのためのゲームする。でもそんなことしてソフィア、いいことあるか？
Sophia will play a game in order to clear it. But will that do Sophia any good?
それはクリア報酬について尋ねていると解釈してよろしいでしょうか?
I interpret that as you asking as if there is some sort of prize, compensation for clearing the game.
報酬？
Compensation?
あなたの国の言葉で言うと、レコンペンサーのことです。
In your country, I believe the word for it is recompensar.
あなたの国、
そう、ソフィア、ご褒美聞いてる。
That right. Sophia asking about reward.
何がご褒美よ。
What reward? Yuna snorted. She didn't think people who suddenly grab them like that would prepare something like that for them. But then the man, as if sneering at Yuna.
いえ、このゲームで生き残ることができた方には皆様に、こちらから相応の報酬を差し上げております。
No. We will prepare a suitable compensation for everyone who survives this game.
そ それいくらか？
How much that?
はい。5億円になります。
Right. That would be about 50 million yen. Sorry, 500 million yen.
5億円。それ丸の数いくつだ？
500 million yen? How many zeros is that?
8個です。ちなみにあなたの故郷の通貨で言うと、現在の為替レートで約6500万ペソになります。
That's 8 euros. Incidentally, by your country's conversion rate, if we were to put in your country's terms, in the current conversion rate, that would be approximately hold on a second. Like probably 6,500 million pesos.
ふざけないで
Don't give us that crap.
あんたね、お金で人の命が買えるとでも思ってるの？
You think you can pay your people's lives with money?
ユーナ、なぜ怒る？
Sorry, you think you can buy people's lives with money? Yuna, why mad?
はあ？なぜって、そんなこともわからないの？
Huh? You don't know why?
ユーナさん、落ち着いてください。
Yuna, please calm down.
ここで僕たちがいがみ合っていても何にもならないじゃありませんか。
Nothing good will come out of us fighting. Yuna instinctively glared at Akira, who'd gone between her and Sophia. But Akira hadn't said anything wrong. If the players were to fight right here, we'd only give the administrator something to be pleased with.
わかったわ。冷静になればいいんでしょ。
Fine, I get it. I just have to be calm, right?
はい。ありがとうございます。
Yes. Thank you.
ところで運営の方、まだ他に僕たちに説明していないことってありますか？
By the way, Administrator, are there still things you haven't explained to us?
いいえ。プレイヤーの皆様から質問がないようでしたら、こちらからは以上です。
Wait, hold on a second. Sorry, do you still have anything to explain to us? No. As long as you have no more players have no more questions, that's it from us.
そうでしたか。
I see.
皆さん、ということみたいですけど。
Well, you heard him, guys.
私は
What do you think?
質問なんて特にないわ。
I don't have any questions in particular.
俺もだ。どうせ聞いたってムカつくだけだしね。
Me neither. It's just gonna piss me off if I hear it anyway.
エーゴさんとソフィアさんはどうですか？
Ego, Sophia, what about you
い
guys?
や、俺も別にねえな。
No, I ain't got nothing in particular.
ソフィア、聞くのもした。
That's all Sophia's questions.
では、こちらからの質問もなしですね。
Then we have no more questions here then.
というわけで、
So with that said,
運営の方、どうぞお引き取りを願います。
Administrator, I'd like to make a deal.
わかりました。それでは、皆様が無事にゲームをクリアし、全員揃って日常へと生還されることを祈っております。
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. Administrator, I ask that you please leave us. Understood. Now then, we pray that all of you will return safe and sound to your day-to-day lives and clear the game. It's possible that they, about Sophia, it's possible that they might have written her PDA in Spanish instead of Japanese. It wouldn't be surprised me if the organization had did that sort of thing. It'd be pretty unfair otherwise. The static from the speaker faded away, and the room fell silent again. It was then that Akira, who cut off the conversation with the administrator, spoke right up.
それで皆さん、これからどうしますか？
Alright then, guys, what should we do?
どうするって。
What should we do?
まあとりあえずはクリア条件を達成するしかねえんじゃねえのか？
True. Anyway. Well, for now, I guess all we can do is clear our conditions, right?
いやよ、そんなの。納得できないわ。
No, I can't accept that.
あのな、いつまでもそんなこと言ってたらゲームオーバーになって首輪が爆破されちまうんだぜ。
Look here. If you keep saying stuff like that, eventually it'll be game over for you and your collar will detonate, you know that?
姉ちゃんがそれでもいいって言うなら、まあいいんだけどよ。
If you're fine with that, then, well, I got no business telling you otherwise.
それは。でも。
That's... But...
なあ、ユーナちゃん。俺もユーナちゃんとは同じ気持ちだけど、とりあえずクリアを目指した方が良くないかな。
Hey, Yuna. I feel the same way as you do, but for now, I don't think it's a bad idea for us to try to fulfill our clear conditions.
確かに、運営の思惑に乗るのは尺だけど、他にいい方法もなさそうだしさ。
I admit that I'm pissed off at having to go along with what the administrators want as well. Like, doesn't seem to be any better way.
そうね。わかったわ。
True. Alright then. After hesitating, Yuna reluctantly nodded. And Akira spoke to everyone
じゃあ
again.
皆さん、こうして出会えたのも何かの縁ですし、もしよければこれから一緒に行動しませんか？
Alright then, guys. Must have been some sort of fate that we all met here like this. So if you'd like, why don't we all travel together? Huh?
あれ？僕、何か変なこと言いましたか？
Huh? Did I say something funny?
確かルール的にも、プレイヤー同士で組むのは許されているはずでしたよね。
If I understand correctly, the rules also say that, sorry. If I remember right, the rules also, seem to say that there's no problems with players teaming up with each
バ
other.
カね。そういうことじゃないわよ。
You idiot, that's not what this is about.
私たちの PDA には、それぞれ違ったクリア条件が割り当てられてるのよ。
We all got different clear conditions, right?
もしそれが競合していたら、あんたどうするつもりよ。
What are you planning on doing if they conflict with each other?
ああ、そっか。
Oh, I see.
ああ、そっかじゃないわよ。まったくあんた。
Don't give me that. I swear.
ちょっと人の話聞いてんの？というか、なんでここで PDA なんか出してんのよ。
Hey, are you listening? And why are you taking your PDA out?
ああ、ユナさん、ちょっと待ってください。
Hold on a second, Yuna.
は？
Huh?
確かここをこうして。
If I remember right, I do this here.
これでよしですね。
Good. There we go.
ちょっと！
Hey, wait!
ああ、すみません。もう準備できましたから。
Sorry. I'm all ready now.
皆さんも、よければこれを見ていただけませんか？
Listen, people. If it's alright with you, would you take a look at this? Akira said that and showed his PDA screen.
ここの文章。
Here, the sentence right here.
僕のクリア条件は、自分を除くプレイヤーナンバーが数字以外のプレイヤー全員のクリア条件を満たすことなんです。
Alright, my clear condition is, with the exception of yourself, all numbers that are not actual numbers fulfill their clear conditions. All players with player numbers that are not actual numbers fulfill their clear conditions.
皆さんのクリア条件がこれと競合していなければ、これから一緒にクリアを目指したいのですが、どうでしょうか？
If this doesn't conflict fitting your own, like for us to aim to fulfill our clear conditions together, but what do you say?
ちなみに僕のプレイヤーナンバーはジャックです。
Oh, incidentally, my player number is the Jack.
あんた頭どうかしてるんじゃないの？
Are you insane?
そうだよアキラくん。いくらなんでもこれは。
She's right, Akira. This is too crazy. There was a risk revealing your information to other players. That should have been made clear over the course of the
で
briefing.
もクリア条件を明らかにしておいた方がいろいろとすっきりしますよね。
Wouldn't that make it easier for all of us in all sorts of ways if we reveal our clear conditions?
少なくとも僕は皆さんの敵じゃない。それを伝えるためにはこうするのが一番だと思ったんです。
At the very least, I'm not your enemy. I figured this was the best way in order to tell you that.
いやだからって
No, but still.
平気ですよ。幸い僕のクリア条件は誰かに危害を与えるような内容ではないですから。
I'm fine. Fortunately, my clear condition doesn't require me to harm others.
というよりも、もし皆さんの中にプレイヤーナンバーが数字以外の方がいるのでしたら、僕に協力させてほしいんです。
So with that said, if any of you happen to be have a player number that's not an actual number, I'd like you to help me out.
もちろんそうじゃなかった場合でも、差し支えがなければ、皆さんのクリアをお手伝いしたいと思っていますけど。
Of course, even if that isn't the case, I'd like to help you fulfill your clear conditions well, if that's not a problem with you.
おいおい兄ちゃんよ。
Whoa there, kid.
ああラカ
When they heard Akira, Eigo and Sophia were taken aback with exasperation. Yunori felt like she'd gone, wide-eyed with shock long ago. Right after that,
ちょっとキシン、あんた何笑ってんのよ。
hey Kishin, why are you laughing?
いやだってアキラくんって本当に面白い人だと思ってさ。
Oh, nothing. I just thought you really are an interesting guy, Akira.
なんか俺アキラくんが気に入ったよ。
I like you.
は？
What?
いやだからさ、つまり俺もアキラくんの考えに賛成だってこと。
No, all I'm saying is, I agree with what Akira is thinking.
ほらみんな見てくれ。
Come on, guys, look at this.
俺のプレイヤーナンバーは7。
My player number is 7.
クリア条件はジョーカーの PDA を取得するだ。
My clear condition is acquire the Joker PDA.
で、他の3人はどうする？ほら、ソフィアちゃんとかさ。
So, what about the rest of you three? Like you, Sophia.
なんだ
What?
ナンバーとクリアのルール見せるがいいのか
I should show my number and clear rule?
そう、できればだけどね。
Yeah, if you can, that is.
ああわかったソフィアも見せる
Okay. Sophia show too.
これソフィアの PDA
This Sophia's PDA.
これは何でしょうこの文字。もしかしてメキシコ語でしょうか。
What this is? What's this writing? Is this Mexican?
アキラくん、メキシコ語なんて文字はないよ。多分これはスペイン語だね。
Akira, there is no language called Mexican. It's probably Spanish.
スペイン語。へえ、初めて見ました。
Spanish? Huh, I've never seen it before.
実は俺もだ。しかし参ったな。英語は割と得意なんだけど、さすがにスペイン語は。
Same here. Man, this is the pits. I'm pretty good with English myself, but Spanish, well...
なんだこのアイコン。
What's this icon?
あれ、そこだけ日本語ですね。変換って書いてあるみたいですけど。
Only that part's in Japanese, right? It says convert.
なあ、ソフィアちゃん。ちょっとここのところを押してみてくれないか。
Hey, Sophia, could you please press this part?
こうか？
Like this?
日本語に変わりましたね。
Oh, it changed to Japanese.
よしよし。
Alright, let's see here.
ソフィアちゃんのプレイヤーナンバーは9か。
Huh. So Sophia's the queen.
クリア条件は12時間以上共に行動した他プレイヤー4名のクリア条件を満たすってなってるな。
Your clear condition is, four other players who have traveled with you for 12 or more hours fulfill their clear conditions.
よかった。ソフィアさんも僕たちのクリア条件とは競合していないみたいですね。
That's good. Looks like you don't conflict with our clear conditions, huh?
ああ、というよりこのクリア条件なら仲間が多い方がいいかもな。
Yeah, in fact, it's better for her that she has more allies for her clear condition.
だそうですけど、どうしますソフィアさん。
Sure sounds that way. But what do you think, Sophia?
ソフィア一人だとクリア難しいだから、ソフィアも二人と一緒に行く。
It's difficult for Sophia clear alone. So Sophia will go with two.
よし。ということはこれで3人は確定だな。
Alright. And that makes 3 of us so far.
はい。
Yes.
では次はユーナさんの番ですね。
Alright, your turn now, Yuna.
私？
Huh? Me? Yuna shouted when Akira requested her to reveal her player number in clear condition, as if we're only the most natural thing in the world.
私は。
Of course, Yuna's clear condition didn't conflict with theirs. Now that she already heard Akira and the others' clear conditions, she was reluctant to reveal hers. Oh, sorry. She had less reservations about revealing hers. However, she still naturally had some unease about just simply revealing her personal data to other players. And what's more, she was a bit worried about teaming up with Sophia, who had shown interest in the reward for clearing the game.
どうしたんだ、ユーナちゃん。
What's wrong, Yuna?
もしかして僕たちとクリア条件が競合しているんですか？
Does your clear condition conflict with ours or something?
いいえ、そうじゃないわ。
No, that's not
じ
it.
ゃあなぜ？
Then why?
それは
That's...
私もあんたたちと組んでもいいんだけど、その前に一つだけ条件があるわ。
I'm okay with teaming up with you guys as well, but I have one condition.
条件ですか？
Condition?
ええ、そうよ。
Yeah, that's right. Yuna and voiced the thought she'd been thinking.
私はあんたたちみたいに軽率じゃないの。
I'm not careless like you
だ
guys.
から仲間になる気がない人間がこの場に一人でもいるなら、こっちの情報は見せたくない。
So if there's even one of us here, sorry. So if there's even one of us here who doesn't feel like doesn't intend teaming up with anyone else, I don't want to show my information.
ね。あんたもそう思うでしょ？
Well, don't you think the same way? Yuna said that and gave Eigo, who'd been quiet the whole time, a sharp glance. The other three all trained their eyes on Eigo this time.
分かったよ。ただ聞きするってのもさすがに大人げねえからな。
Fine, I get it. It wouldn't be very mature of me just to hear you guys out.
ほら、
Here.
俺のプレイヤーナンバーは K。
My player number is King.
そしてクリア条件は
My clear condition is
ゲーム2日目以降6時間ごとに最低1回発砲するだ。
from the second day onward, fire at least once every 6 hours. Huh?
発砲っておっさん。
Fire? Old man?
そう。つまり俺はこれからどうしたって銃器を入手しなきゃいけないってわけだ。
That's right. In other words, I need to acquire a gun by whatever means necessary after this.
でどうする？一応俺のクリア条件も誰かと競合してるってわけじゃねえんだが。
So how about it? From what I can see, it doesn't look like mine conflicts with any others, but... Eigo said that, grinned, and looked at Akia. And then, as expected...
もちろん、英語さんも一緒に行きましょう。
Of course! You're free to come with us, Eigo.
皆さんもそれでいいですよね。
The rest of you guys are fine with that too, right?
まあ、アキラくんがそう言うなら。
Well, if you say so.
ソフィアどっちでもいい。
Sophia, fine either way.
ん？なんだよ、姉ちゃんは反対なのか？
Was this girl, you against it?
私は別にそういうわけじゃ。
It's not like that.
あ、ほんじゃまあ決まりだな。
Alright, then it's settled.
さて、最後は姉ちゃんの番だぜ。
Alright then, it's your turn last. Eigo then grinned. That look made Yuna feel extremely unpleasant, but... Given the way the conversation had gone, with no other choice, she reluctantly revealed her player number and clear condition to the others.
で、このチームのリーダーについてなんだが。
Alright then, about the leader of this team. Eigo suddenly brought that up right after they left the central control facility to move out. Everyone looked at Eigo. And then he continued with a somewhat bitter face.
まあ、年齢から言っても俺ってことでいいよな。
Well, I guess age-wise, I'd be the best choice.
あんたね、何いきなり勝手なこと言ってんのよ。
Hey, who died made you king?
あ？なんだよ、ダメなのか？
Huh? Is that out of the question? Sorry, is that not good?
当たり前じゃない。
Of course not.
私たちはあんたがどんな人間かも知らないのよ。なのに年齢だけであんたをリーダーに選べるわけないじゃない。
You don't know what kind of person you are, right? So we can't just go making you the leader just because of your age.
おいおい、そう目くじら立てるなって。
Well, don't glare at me like that.
もちろん年齢以外にも俺にはリーダーにふさわしい理由があるんだからよ。
I have other reasons for why I think I'd be suitable as a leader apart from my age, of course.
何よそれ。
And what would they be?
職業上の理由だよ。俺はな、刑事なんだ。
Those are my occupational reasons. You see, I'm a detective.
刑事？
A detective?
そうだったんですか。
Oh, is that right?
確かにそう言われてみると、おっさんはなんかそれっぽいかもね。
Now you mention it, You do seem the type, old man.
あんたたちね。
You guys.
まったく疑り深い姉ちゃんだな。
Sure. You sure are skeptical, huh?
けど残念だが、警察手帳も手錠も身分を証明できるものなんて何一つ持っちゃいねえぜ。
Unfortunately for you, I've got no badge, handcuffs, or anything to prove my ID to you guys.
それは姉ちゃんだって同じはずだろ。
It's the same for you, isn't it, girl?
ユーナさん、いいじゃないですか。
You can just let it go, can't you?
僕は英語さんのこと信用できると思いますよ。
I think we can trust Ego.
あのね、あんたのその目が曇ってないっていう証拠がどこにあんのよ。
Look here. What proof do you even have that your eyes aren't
ちょ
clouded?
っとソフィア、あんたもなんとか言いなさいよ。
Hey, Sophia, say something to him, will you?
ソフィア、どうでもいい。
Sophia, don't care.
どうでもいいって。あんたね。
Don't care? Why you?
おい姉ちゃんもういいだろうが。反対してるのは姉ちゃんだけなんだからよ。
Well, will you cut it out? You're the only one that posed here, you know.
それに嫌ならチームを抜けてくれてもいいんだぜ。
Besides, if you don't like it, you can always leave the team if you want.
でもそうなると困るのは姉ちゃんの方じゃねえか。どうするんだよ、パートナー。
Well, if you did that, you'd be in trouble, wouldn't you? So what's it gonna be, partner? There was still an air of mystery around Ego that meant that drove Yuna to not trust him the way she did Akira and the others. But as he said, it wouldn't do her clear condition any good if she did otherwise.
わかったわ。
Fine.
でも、ずっと私が見ているってことを忘れないで。
Don't forget I'm always watching, alright?
あ、それで構わねえよ。
Yeah, I don't mind. Ego shrugged. He then got serious again and looked around at everyone and spoke.
よし、それじゃあ俺の考えを聞いてくれ。
Alright guys, hear me out here. Here's my idea.
さっき確認し合った通り、俺たちのクリア条件は幸いにして全員競合していない。
As we confirmed earlier, fortunately, none of our clear conditions conflict with each other's.
中でもユーナのクリア条件、最低1名以上の他のプレイヤーと3時間以上離れず行動するは、
Amongst those, we have Yuna's clear condition, which is to save at least one player without getting separated from them for more than 3 hours.
まあこのまま一緒に行動していれば自然とクリアすることができるだろう。
So as long as we stick together, she should be able to clear hers just fine.
次にアキラのクリア条件、自分を除くプレイヤーナンバーが数字以外のプレイヤー全員のクリア条件を満たすだが、
Next, we have Akira's clear condition, which is to fulfill, which is that everyone with a player number that's not an actual number fulfills their clear conditions, except your
こ
own.
こにはもうエース、ジャック、クイーン、キングが揃っているから、あと足りないのはジョーカーだけってことになる。
We already have the Ace, Jack, Queen, and King here, so all we're missing is the Joker now.
そしてキシンのクリア条件、ジョーカーの PDA を取得するも、その対象はアキラと同じくジョーカーだ。
And Kishin's clear condition is to acquire the Joker PDA. So much like Akira, he needs to find the Joker as well.
つまり2人がクリアするためには、ジョーカーのプレイヤーを仲間にすることが必須ってわけだ。
In other words, in order for you two to fulfill your clear conditions, we're gonna have to team up with the Joker player.
そしてジョーカーを仲間にすることができれば、ソフィアのクリア条件達成にもつながってくる。
And if we can make the Joker our ally, they'll also connect to Sophia fulfilling her clear condition.
どうしてですか？
Huh? Why is that?
考えてもみろよ。ソフィアのクリア条件は、12時間以上共に行動した他プレイヤー4名のクリア条件を満たすだ。
Think about it. Sophia's clear condition is that 4 players she travels with for more than 12 hours fulfill their clear conditions.
ソフィアのクリア達成を条件にしているアキラは順番的にソフィアのクリア対象に入りようがねえだろ。
For you to fulfill your clear condition, Akira, Sophia needs to fulfill hers as well, right?
そっか。じゃあ初めからもう一人仲間が必要だったんですね。
I see. Then we only need to find only one more ally?
そうだ。そして仲間にするなら俺たちにとって一番都合のいいジョーカーのプレイヤーを置いて他にね。
That's right. If we're gonna make them, and we're gonna find an ally, then no one better than the Joker player.
逆に言うとジョーカーを見つけない限り5人全員でのクリアはありえないってことか。
On the other hand, if we can't find the Joker, then we won't be able to fulfill our clear conditions.
ああ、そういうことだ。
Yeah, that's right.
そして5人全員でクリアするためにはやらなきゃいけないことがもう一つある。
There's one more thing we do for all five to fulfill our clear conditions.
分かってるよ。おっさんのクリア条件はゲーム2日目以降6時間ごとに最低1回発砲するだったもんな。
We know. You mean your clear condition, which calls for you to fire once every 6 hours from the second day onwards, right?
ああ、その通りだ。
Yeah, that's right.
つまり俺たちのこれからの行動目標は
In other words, our objective right now
ジョー
is
カーのプレイヤーを仲間にすることと銃器を手に入れること。この2つってわけだ。
allying ourselves with the Joker player and obtaining a gun. Those two.
姉ちゃんもここまでは文句ねえな。
You don't have any issues with that, do you? Do you, girl?
ええ。
No.
よし。じゃあここからが本題なんだが。
Alright. Now we're getting to the real meat of things.
今の話がそうだったんじゃないのか？
Huh? That wasn't the meat of things just now?
今のはただの状況確認だ。
I was just confirming the situation.
ここからじゃあ具体的にどう行動するのかって話に入るんだよ。
Now we're about to talk about what specifically we're going to do.
ああ、なるほど。
Oh, I see.
英語さん、少し待ってもらえませんか？
Oh, Ego. Would you wait a little bit?
ん？どうした？
What is it?
今のクリア条件の話ってソフィアさんには理解できてないんじゃないでしょうか？
Possible Sophia might not have understood our conversation about the clear conditions just now.
そっか。ソフィアちゃんは聞き取りが苦手なんだっけ？
Oh, that's right. Sophia's bad at picking up and listening, right? Kishin looked toward her as he said that, and as expected, Sophia looked lost. But soon she realized why they stopped the conversation.
ソフィア、後でゆっくり聞くだから続けていい。
Oh. Sophia will ask in detail later, so go on.
本当にいいんですか？
Are you sure about that?
いい。
Yes,
そうですか。
I see.
ありがとうございます、ソフィアさん。ソフィアさんには後で必ず僕がわかるように説明しますので。
Thank you so much, Sophia. I promise I'll explain it to you, so you can understand later.
よろしくする。
Thank you. Sophia nodded. And then she glanced at Ego as if telling him to continue. In response, Ego...
じゃあ話を戻すぞ。
Alright, let's get back on topic.
さっきまでの話で俺たちの行動目標が何なのかってことはもう分かったと思う。
From what we talked about just now, we know exactly what our objectives are.
だが残念ながら俺たちはこのゲームがいつ終わるのかその期限を知らされちゃいね。
But unfortunately, we weren't told when this game would end.
もしかするとタイムリミットは 2,3 日かもしれねえ。
The time limit might be 2 or 3 days.
なのに闇雲にフィールド内を動き回ってたんじゃいたずらに時間を浪費するだけだ。
So all we'll do if we blindly wander around the field is waste time.
だから今後の行動を効率よく行うために俺たちにはしなきゃいけねえことがある。
So there's something we need to do in order to move most efficiently from now on.
今の自分たちに何ができて何ができないのか、それを確認し合っておくことがここからは重要になる。
It'll be important for us to check from here on out what it is we can and can't do.
つまりあんたはこの際だから PDA の特殊機能もみんなで公開しようって言ってるのね。
So in other words, you're saying we should use this opportunity for all of us to reveal our special functions, right?
ああ、そういうことだ。
Yeah, that's right.
どうだお前ら、俺の考えに賛同できるか？
What do you think, guys? Do you agree with my line of thought?
ええ、リーダーはエイゴさんなんですから僕は従います。
Yes, you're the leader here, Ego, so I agree.
じゃあ俺も右に同じだ。
Same here.
ソフィアさんはどうしましょうか？
What will you do, Sophia?
話わからないだからアキラ任せる。
No understand conversation, so leave up to Akira.
わかりました。ではソフィアさんも賛成ということで。
Got it. And Sophia's in agreement too.
で、姉ちゃんはどうするんだ？
So what about you, girl?
私は
Yuna hesitated. What Ego said certainly made a lot of sense. And what's more, she couldn't find a reason to refuse.
わかった。私もあんたの提案に従うわ。
Alright, I'll go along with your plan then. And so the group revealed their PDA special functions to each other. First were Yuna and Akira's. Yuna's special function. Show the screen of a remotely show the screen of a designated player's PDA within 300 meters. However, this function can only be used once per minute and only 13 times in the entire game. Akira's special function. Shows a list of everyone's injuries. However, this function can only be used once every 3 hours.
どうやら2人とも広範囲にわたってプレイヤーの状況を把握することができる特殊機能みてえだな。
Looks like you guys have special functions that allows you to check the situation of players in a certain range, huh?
特にユーナちゃんのがすごいね。
Yours is pretty impressive, Yuna.
これって300メートル以内にいる全プレイヤーのナンバーが PDA に表示されるってことだろ？
That means all the PDAs within 300 meters of your That means all the player numbers within 300 meters of your PDA will be shown on your PDA, right?
ええ。その代わり13回しか使えないけど。
Yeah, but I can only use it 13 times in exchange.
いや、それだけ使えりゃ十分だ。
No, that's still good enough.
逆にアキラくんのは今のところ使い道がなさそうだね。
On the other hand, doesn't really look like there's a way for you to use yours right now, Akira, huh?
そうですね。せめて負傷状況だけじゃなく居場所も分かればこちらから助けに行くことができるんですが。
Yeah, if at least showed locations instead of their to save their injuries, I might be able to help. But
よし、次は俺とキシンだ。
all right, me and Kishin are next.
了解。
Roger that. Hold on a second. Alright, here we go. Sorry about that. A goes clear condition. Swap the clear conditions of multiple PDAs within 1 meter. You may arbitrarily select the PDAs to be swapped on the entry screen. However, you cannot select your own PDA. Kishin's special function. Revert the Joker PDA within 15 meters to its initial settings.
俺の特殊機能もアキラと同じで今は全く役に立たねえ。
Like Akira's, my special function isn't very useful right now.
でも近くに複数のプレイヤーがいればそのクリア条件を見ることができるんじゃないですか？
If there are several players near you, that means you can see their clear conditions, can't you?
いやしかし半径1メートル以内だぜ。仲間にでもなってなきゃそんなに接近できるとは思えねえな。
They gotta be within 1 meter of me, you know? I don't think I can get close with them unless they're already my ally or something.
ねえ、それよりキシンの特殊機能だけど一部分意味がわからないところがあるわ。
But hey, anyway, more importantly, there's something about Kishin's special function I don't understand.
どこですか？
Huh? What about
こ
it?
の初期化ってところよ。
This initial settings
こ
thing.
れってつまりジョーカーの PDA には初期化されていない状態があるってことよね。
This means that the Joker PDA can be in the state where it's not in its initial settings, right?
初期化されていない状態？
A state where it's not in its initial settings?
そういえばさっきの説明会でプレイヤーナンバーはトランプを模しているって言ってたよね。
Come to think of it, they mentioned back at the briefing that the player numbers are modeled after playing cards, right?
そうか。トランプでジョーカーって言えば
Oh, I see. So when you think of the Joker and playing cards,
何にでも化けられるカードね。
a card that can change into something else, into another one, huh?
ああその通りだ。
Yeah, that's
おい
right.
キシン、お前ここで一回その特殊機能を使ってみてくれねえか？
Hey, Kishin. Why don't you try using your special function here for now?
何？私たちの中にジョーカーがいる可能性があるっていうの？
Huh? What, you think it's possible that one of us has the Joker?
わからねえが念のためだ。
I don't know, but just to be
キ
safe.
シン、頼めるか？
Kishin, can you do it?
もちろん。それじゃあ行くよ。
Of course. Alright, here I go.
はい終わったけど。
Alright, all
よ
done.
し。お前ら PDA を見せるんだ。パーソナルデータの画面を開いてな。
Good. Alright, guys, show your PDAs. Open up to your personal data screens. Alright, personal data, Unitoto, player number A, clear condition, same as what we heard earlier. Personal data, Akira Makioka, player number Jack, clear condition, same as what we were told earlier. Personal data, Eigo Mishima, player number King, clear condition, same as what we heard earlier. Personal data, Sofia Trevi Monsanero, player number Queen, clear condition, same as what we were told earlier.
特に変化はなさそうね。
Doesn't really look like anything changed.
ああ、みたいだな。
Yeah, looks that way.
残念でしたねキシンさん。この中にジョーカーがいればその時点でクリア確定だったんですけど。
That's too bad, Kishin. If we had the Joker, then you could have fulfilled your clear condition now.
まあそううまくはいかないって。
Well, I didn't think it'd be that easy anyhow.
さてと最後はソフィアの特殊機能の確認ね。
Alright then. Last but not least, we need to confirm Sophia's clear condition. Oh, sorry. Special function. Right.
ソフィアさん、特殊機能を見せてください。
Sophia, show us your special function.
特殊機能
special function?
ああ、もしかしてこれか？
Oh, you mean this? Sophia's special function displays undiscovered cubes in 10 meters on the map.
何これ、すごい便利な機能じゃない。
Wow, that's a really useful function.
確かメモリーチップはこのキューブっていうのに入っているんでしたよね。
If I remember right, these memory chips are located in those cube things, right?
ああ、とりあえずこれで銃は手に入りそうだな。
Yeah. With this, I should be able to get my hands on a gun.
それと食料もね。
And food, too. Sophia showed a sensitive reaction to Kishin's words.
食料？
Food?
ソフィア、今お腹空いてる。
Oh, Sophia, hungry now. Sophia said that with a bitter face, and stared at Eigo's face if she were seeking if she were looking for something.
はいはい、分かってるよ。
All right, I get it.
なんだかんだ言ったが、とりあえずは飯の確保が先だ。
I know what I said, but finding food comes first. Oops, not again. All right, sorry.
ソフィア、早速その機能を使ってくれ。まずはメモリーチップ探しから始めよう。
Sophia, use your function right now. We'll start off by looking for memory chips.
ああ、わかった。
Got it. And so Unigas relied on Sophia's special function and marched off. Before long, they found 5 memory chips within 1 hour. And used all of them to in order to acquire food supplies. When they dug up the 5th spot, the group found it surprisingly fast. The 5 of them all stare at the ground. Lying there was a can with an open lid. Inside was a single pistol.
シグザウェル P228 か。
A Sig Sauer P228, huh?
英語さん、この銃を知ってるんですか？
Eigo, you know this gun?
まあな。こいつは日本警察の特殊部隊や海上保安庁でも採用されてる銃なんだ。墓地は持ち屋ってやつだ。
Sorry, one sec. Yeah, you could say that. It's used by the Japanese police's special forces, and by the Japanese Coast Guard as well. Every man knows his own business best.
それ、もちろん本物なんだよな。
That thing's real, right?
ああ、間違いね。
Yeah, no doubt about it.
それで、その銃、誰が持つのよ。
So, just go ahead and hold on to the gun.
お
With the exception of Akira, everyone exchanged glances at Yuna's question. Not even Yuna could stay calm when faced with the first real gun in her life. Just then, Akira, who was the only one who had their mind focused on the gun, spoke up with curiosity.
その銃、英語さんが持つんじゃダメなんですか？
Can't we just have Eigo hold on to the
だ
gun?
って英語さんなら銃の扱い方を心得ていると思いますし、銃がクリア条件に関係しているのは英語さんなんですから。
After all, he seems to know his way around guns. And this clear condition involves a gun, so...
いや、アキラくん、それはそうなんだけど。
Well, that's not wrong, Akira, but... Kishin fumbled over his words as he glanced at Yuna. He's probably expecting Yuna to speak up. And of course, Yuna had no intention of letting a man surrounded in an air of mystery like Eigo hold on to a gun. Just then Eigo seemed to pick up on her thoughts and... Sheesh.
いいぜ姉ちゃん。
Fine, girl.
俺は明日から6時間に一度だけ撃てりゃいいんだ。
I just have to fire once every 6 hours starting from tomorrow, right?
そんなに俺に持たせるのが嫌だって言うなら、姉ちゃんがこの銃を持てばいい。
If you're that opposed to me holding on to the gun, then you can hold on to it for now. Huh?
だが一つだけ条件がある。
On one condition.
アキラ、ちょっと来てくれ。
Akira, over here.
お、何でしょうか？
What is it? Akira walked over to Eigo, beckoned by him. When he did, Eigo picked up the gun. And separated by its body and its magazine.
あんた勝手に何してるのよ。
Hey, what are you
い
doing?
いんだよ、これで。
This should be fine,
ほら、ア
right?
キラ、お前はこっちの弾倉を持っててくれ。
Here, Akira. You hold on to this magazine.
はい。
Huh?
さあ、姉ちゃんはこっちの重心だ。
Now, girl, you take the gun itself.
ちょっとどういうこと？
Hey, what are you doing?
どうもこうもねえだろ。疑心暗鬼で背中から撃たれたんじゃさすがにたまんねえからな。
What do you think? I'm just trying to make it so that we don't have to worry. No one has to worry about getting. No one has to worry about getting shot in the back. That's all.
その予防策ってやつだよ。
This is just a precaution for that. Eigo's fierce sarcasm struck Yuna in the heart. Then Eigo casually handed her the gun.
ほら、お望みの銃だ。せいぜい大事にしてくれや。
Here's that gun you want so much. Take good care of it, will you? Yuna noticed that everyone was staring at her face. But Yuna looked away from them and took the gun from Eigo's hand. Before long, they reached a corner of the forest, sat down whenever they liked, and began eating. Yuna sat a good distance away from Eigo as she suddenly munched on a peanut butter cracker. But even though she was fairly hungry, it had almost no flavor. She just chewed down the food. Now, No, it got stuck in her throat, sorry. Ooh, yeah, the PC version of Rebellions has these kinds of shots. Fortunately, this is the only one of its kind in this route, so, sorry. Just gonna have to put up with it for this one route. I think they just only use this a few times more, but yeah, sorry about this. Because of what happened earlier, it felt like there was an now invisible wall between Yuna and the rest of the group. It made it feel like as though she was the only one being selfish in the group. Then from a short distance away, she heard Eigo and Kishin talking to each other.
でもさ、メモリーチップ探しはひとまず後回しでいいんじゃないのか?
Well, you know, can't we just put off searching for memory? Can't we just put searching for memory chips off for a while now? Oops. Well, it got rid of one thing at least when I did that by accident this time. Sorry, the reason for that is that skip is programmed to the shift key. So I press enter. It caused it to pat. Anyway, so
いや、俺はそうは思わねえな。
no, I don't think so.
キューブが見つかった感覚から言ってメモリーチップの数には限りがある。
Judging from the distance in which we found the cubes from each other, there's a limit on the number of memory chips.
つまりゲームが進めば進むほどメモリーチップ探しはきつくなっていく。
In other words, the longer the game progresses, the harder it will be to find memory chips.
だったら今のうちに集められるだけ集めておいた方がいいだろう。
So shouldn't we gather as much as we can for now?
なるほどね。じゃあ今日のところは。
I see. Then for today... Yuna, who was holding a cracker, froze when she heard the two of them talking. Could it be that Eigo was right and she was jumping at shadows, just as he'd said? Should she put more faith in the other players? As that doubt pricked at her, Yuna thought the player whose actions different from her own. Alright, sorry about that anyway. Continuing. Every time that doubt pricked at her, Yuna thought of the face of a certain player whose actions were completely different from her own mindset. And before she knew it, she realized she was looking around for Akira. But even though he'd been right between Eigo, Kishin, and Yuna just a little while ago, now he was nowhere to be found.
あいつどこに行ったのかしら。
Where did he go? She looked around and she mumbled that. She then quickly found Akira. It seemed Akira was trying to head over to Sophia, who was sitting far away from everyone else. He was probably eating with her, going to eat with her. He held emergency bread and water in his hands. As he promised, Akira had explained the situation to Sophia while they were looking for memory chips. It was safe to say that Akira was the one she trusted the most amongst the group. But just then, when there was about 2 meters between them,
アキラ、こっち来るな。ソフィアはこの食べるものはあげるつもりない。
Akira, stay away! Sophia no intends on giving you food. Huh? Sophia's voice suddenly echoed through the woods. Kishi and Eigo came over as well when they heard that.
なんだよ。ソフィアちゃん、どうしたんだ？
What's going on? Sophia, what's wrong?
おいおい、大きな声は勘弁してくれや。
Oh no, tone down the voice.
みんなもこっち来るな。この食べるものはソフィアのだからこっち来るな。
All of you stay back as well. This food is Sophia's, so stay away.
いや、ソフィアちゃん、俺たちは別に。
No, Sophia, we weren't trying to.
来るな。
Stay away!
来るな来るな来るな来るな。
Stay away! Stay away! Stay away! Stay away!
アキラくん、ソフィアちゃんに何かしたの？
Akira, did you do something to Sophia?
いえ、僕はただ一緒に食事をしようとしただけで。
No, I was just trying to eat with her.
みんなあっち行け。
All of you go away.
この食べるものはソフィアのだからあっち行け。
This food is Sophia's, so go
い
away.
や、ソフィアちゃん、少しは落ち着けって。
Whoa, Sophia, calm down. Stay away.
ソフィアさん
おいおい、二人ともやめとけ。
Oh, stop it, you
で
guys.
すが、
But
そうだよ、おっさん。俺たちは何も悪いことしてないっていうのに。
he's right, old man. We haven't done anything wrong.
だからソフィアが食い終わるまではほっといてやれって言ってんだ。
I'm telling you to leave Sophia alone until she finishes eating.
食い終わるまで？
Until she finishes eating?
英語さん、どういうことなんですか？
Eigo, what do you mean by that?
さあな、正確なところは俺にだってわからねえさ。だが仕方ねえだろ。ソフィアがこんなに嫌がってんだからよ。
Beats me. In all honesty, I have no idea either. She's so against us, so what else can we do, right?
ソフィアの故郷のメキシコってのはなかなか情勢が不安定な国でな。
Sophia's home country of Mexico is in a rather unstable situation.
地域によっちゃほとんどマフィアに支配されているような地域もあるって話だ。
I've heard that there are some areas in the country that are almost entirely run by the mafia.
で、日常的に銃があって毎日弾丸が飛び交ってるようなところじゃ人の命だって随分安い。
And in places where guns and gunfights are a daily thing, human life is really cheap.
もしソフィアがそういう場所で生まれ育ったんだとしたら、そこでの食事はどうだったと思う？
If Sophia was born and raised in a place like that, what do you think the food situation would be like?
マフィアが全部牛耳ってるっつうのに、その辺のガキどもまで食料が行き渡ると思うか？
You think the mafia would share all the food they had with the kids around?
じゃあソフィアさんは
And Sophia's?
きっと毎日のように飯の奪い合いをしてきたんだろうさ。俺たちには分からねえことだがな。
Yeah. She probably had to steal food nearly every day of her life. Something we would never understand.
人間は食わなきゃ死ぬ。そんな当たり前のことに必死にならなきゃいけない奴らだってこの世界にはいるってことよ。
If we don't eat, we die. There are people in this world who need to do whatever it takes in order to accomplish something so natural.
ついでに言うとな、ソフィアはこの国に稼ぎに来たと言っていたが、
And while I'm at it, Sophia said she came to this country in order to earn a living.
本当のところは売られてきたんじゃねえのかって、俺はそう思ってる。
Personally, I think she might have been sold here.
なんだよそれ。
What's that mean?
じゃあその挙句このゲームに参加させられたっていうことなのか？
And now you're saying she was thrown into that game on top of all that? As Yuna listened to their conversation, she remembered how Sophie had been fixated on the money. And her heart throbbed in pain at the thought of how different her background was from the rest of theirs. She was sure that whereas in the world that Sophia lived, the concept that you couldn't buy money with life didn't apply.
ほら行くぞお前ら。俺たちがここにいたらソフィアが落ち着いて飯を食えねえだろ。
Come on, guys, let's go. If we stick around here, Sophia can't eat in peace, can't she?
あ
Right. With Eigo taking the lead, turned his back on Sophia, and Kishin followed him as well. However, Akira didn't move.
おいアキラ、俺の話を聞いてなかったのか？
Hey, Akira, didn't you hear what I said?
いいえ、聞いてました。でもやっぱり僕は。
No, I did. But even so,
ねえソフィアさん、向こうで僕たちと一緒にご飯を食べませんか？
Hey, Sophia, will you eat food with us over there?
やだ、ソフィア一人でいい。
No, Sophia fine on her own.
大丈夫ですよソフィアさん。僕たちはソフィアさんの食べ物を絶対に取ったりしませんから。
It's okay, Sophia. I swear I won't take any of your food.
それは信じるできない。
I can't trust you.
そうですか？
Really?
そう、だからアキラ、あっち行け。
Yes. So go over there, Akira.
そうですか。わかりました。じゃあソフィアさんに僕の食べ物を半分あげますから。
See, I understand. And I'll give you half of my food, Sophia.
嘘じゃないですよ。
Oh, I'm not lying. See? Akira smiled and held out the emergency bread, half of the emergency bread he had, and held it out to Sophia.
さあ、どうぞ受け取ってください。
Now go ahead. Please, take it.
もし僕に近づくのが心配であれば、ソフィアさんが今持っている食べ物は先に食べてしまってください。
If you're worried about me getting close to you, then please go ahead and eat the food you already have right now.
でもきっとそれだけじゃ足りないですよね。
I'm sure it's not enough, right?
だからほら、その後でこれを受け取ってください。
So come on, take this when you're done with that.
でもソフィア、もらっても払うお金ない。
Oh, but Sophia, no have money to pay you.
いいえ、そんなのいりませんよ。
I don't need any of that.
でもその代わりと言ってはなんですが、僕と半分こした分は向こうに行ってみんなと一緒に食べましょう。
But if you want to pay me back, then how about you eat the half I give you with the rest of us?
それ嘘違うか？
That no lie, is it?
嘘だなんてとんでもありません。
Of course not. Don't be
も
ridiculous.
し仲間に嘘なんかついたら、きっと僕はユーナさんに怒られてしまいますよ。
If I lied to a comrade of ours, then I'm sure Yuna would get mad at me.
ね、そうですよね、ユーナさん。
Well, I'm right, aren't I, Yuna? What?
ユナ、そうなのか？
Yuna, that true? Akira was looking at her with a smile, while Sophia was staring at her, questioningly. Yuna had no choice but to answer.
そうよ。
That's right. That's right.
アキラがもしあんたを騙したら、私が思いっきり蹴り飛ばしてあげるわよ。
If Akira tricked you, I'd kick his ass, no questions asked.
じゃあわかった。
Okay. Got it. Sophia said that and ate the rest of her food. She then took the bread from Akira's hand.
ではみんなで一緒に食べましょう。
Let's go and eat with the others.
さあユーナさんも。
You too, Yuna. Akira gave a smile to the temporarily isolated Yuna. Resisting would likely be futile anyway. Yuna quickly gave up and said fine. After that, the group all ate together. It wasn't particularly fun or anything. The food wasn't all that good either. It was the first moment of relief Yuna had felt since they started the game. And then, after they finished eating, the team resumed their previous work and started going around the field looking for the Joker player. But even though they used Yuna's special function multiple times to list any other players in 300 meters, most of them were on guard because they were moving in a large group. Didn't actually wish to encounter them. Before long, the sky turned orange. The group picked a small tool shed to sleep in, and night came. Snores echoed all throughout the darkness. You can listen to that as she breathed out the stagnant air that she breathed in. Her whole body filled with a sense of relief. From the relaxing of the exhaustion that she'd accumulated over the course of the day. Before long, her consciousness faded and she began to fall asleep. Maybe she's being more cautious of the players than she needed to be? Was she starting to forget something important to her as a person? Because she'd been devoured by the atmosphere of this cruel game? As Yuna drifted off to sleep, a thought came to her. No, that reflection came to her. And then Yuna gradually passed out. Yuna awoke after some time when she heard a sound coming from somewhere. When she did, she heard Eigo muttering from the door.
さて、今のうちにやっとかねえとな。
Now then, I gotta do it now. Do it now? Filled with intense dread at the words she just heard. Those words were playing in Yuna's mind. What was it that I need to do? And why do you need to do it now? When Yuna thought that, she completely woke up. A cold night breeze blew on her face when she went outside. She immediately looked around, but didn't see any sign of Eigo. When she strained her ears, she heard faint
こ
footsteps.
の足音からすると英子は配送の方へ向かったみたいね。
Judging from these footsteps, it sounds like Eigo's heading for the village. She didn't know what Eigo was up to. Hold on a second. Oh, she screwed up and caused a fuss. She might give Eigo a chance to conceal his true motives. When she determined that, Yuna decided to follow Eigo alone. And just as she was about to move,
待ってください、ユナさん。
please wait, Yuna. Yuna got up and turned around to see Akira standing there.
あんた起きてたの？
You were awake?
いえ、目が覚めたのはついさっきです。
No, I just woke up.
じゃあ
Then,
はい。僕も英語さんの行動が少し気になりまして。
yeah, I'm a little curious about Eigo's actions myself. There was a rare, glum look on Akira's face. It seemed that even Akira, who said he trusted Eigo, found Eigo's actions incomprehensible. Oops. Sorry.
そう。
I see.
じゃああんたも一緒に行きましょう。ここでグズグズしていたら英語の後を追えなくなるわ。
Then come with me. If we linger around here too long, we won't be able to. We'll lose track of Eigo.
Hi.
Right. After that, Yuna and Akira followed Eigo, relying on the faint sounds he made. Before long, they spotted Eigo in the abandoned village. Yuna and Akira watched them from a building a short distance away.
くそ、ろくなもんがねえな。
Crap. This isn't any good.
こいつの構造が俺の考えてる通りなら、あとは必要なものを揃えるだけなんだが。
If this thing's constructed the way I think it is, all I have to do is to gather the necessary things.
とりあえず今のうちに材料の目星だけでもつけとかねえと。
For now, let's keep an eye on the materials I need.
静かになったと思ったら今度は何をしてるのかしら。
He's gone quiet now. What do you think he's doing?
メモ帳みたいなものを取り出して何か書いてるみたいですけど。
He took out some sort of notepad and seems to be writing something?
はあ、何かって何をよ。
Huh? Like what?
さあ、そこまでは。
Sorry, I wouldn't know.
いいわ。わかった。
Fine, I get it. Yuna said that and took out the gun at her waist, hip. Akira's eyes widened when he saw that.
ユーナさん。
Yuna?
ほら、あんたも断層を出しなさいよ。
Come on, bring out the magazine. Huh?
銃で脅して、そのメモ帳みたいなものってやつを取り上げるのよ。そうすれば、英語が何をしているのかはっきりするわ。
We'll throw him the gun and take whatever that notepad-like thing is from him. If we do that, it'll be clear what he's up to.
だからって、そんなのダメですよ、ユーナさん。
Still, we can't do that, Yuna.
いいから、早く出しなさいって。
Just give it to me already.
嫌です。銃を使うなんて僕は納得できません。
No, I can't prove you using the gun.
このバカ！
You dumbass!
おい、そこにいるのは誰だ？
Hey, who's there?
ユーナさん、お願いですから。そんなものはしまってください。
Please, Yuna, put that away.
わかったわよ。
Fine. Yeesh.
今の声は。アキラか？
Huh? That voice. Is that you, Akira?
そうです、エイゴさん。それと、ユーナさんも一緒にいます。
That's right, Ego. And Yuna's with me too.
ったく、甘すぎるのよ、あんたは。
Sheesh. You're so naive. Now that he'd said her name, there was no more point in hiding. Yuna gave up and exited the building with Akira.
どういうことだ？なぜ俺の後をつけてきた？
What's the meaning of this? Why are you following me?
それはこっちのセリフよ。
That's what we'd like to ask.
何？
Huh?
人がせっかくあんたへの警戒心を解こうかなーって思ってたところだったのに、その結果がこれなわけ？
Just when I was finally thinking I should let my guard down, you pull this?
おいおい、何勘違いしてるのか知らねえが、俺は別にやましいことはしちゃいねえぜ。
Whoa now. You seem like you're getting the wrong idea. I'm not up to anything sketchy, I swear.
おい、アキラ、お前も俺を疑ってんのか？
Hey, Akira, do you suspect me too?
いいえ。
No.
ですが、僕もユーナさんと同じように、エイゴさんがここで何をしていたのかということについては気になっています。
However, like Yuna, I am curious what you're doing here.
エイゴさん、今その手に持っているメモ帳に何を書いていたんですか？
Eiko, what did you write in that notepad you're holding?
こいつは
This is...
それを見せていただかない限り、ユーナさんのエイゴさんに対する疑いはきっと晴れないと思います。
If you don't show that, I don't think Yuna's doubts about you will clear up.
相変わらずズバズバ言うじゃねえか。少しは駆け引きってやつを覚えたらどうなんだ？
Hold on a sec. Sheesh. You're as honest as ever. Why don't you try learning some moderation a bit?
いいから、さっさとそれを見せなさいよ。
Look, just show it to me
い
already.
や、お断りだ。
No, I refuse.
言っとくが、この手帳はな、日暮れ前に全員でこの村を調べた時に見つけた何の変哲もねえ手帳だ。
Just so you know, I found this. This is a totally ordinary notebook that I found when we were all searching through the village, and we were all checking the village before sundown.
そしてさっき書き物をしてたのは、
That's what I was writing
刑
with.
事の職業病ってのかな。俺は考えたいことがあるとメモに取らなきゃ落ち着かねえ性分なんだよ。
Sorry, and that's for what I was writing. I guess you could call the detective's occupational hazard of sorts. I have a habit of writing down what I'm thinking. No, if I don't write down what I'm thinking, I can't calm down.
いわばこいつは俺のプライベートってわけだ。
So in other words, it's my own personal thing.
なあおい、仲間だからって何もかんもさらけ出さなきゃいけねえってわけじゃねえんだろ？
Come on, hear me out, will you? Just because we're comrades doesn't mean we have to reveal every little thing to each other, right?
それはそうですけど。
Well, true,
ち
but
ょっとアキラ、何言いくるめられそうになってるのよ。
hey, Akira, don't let him cajole you.
あいつはただメモを取っていただけじゃないわ。何かを探してる風だったのはあんただって見てたはずでしょ。
Hold on a second. It wasn't just taking notes. You saw him, he was looking for something, right?
何か必要なものがあるって言うなら明るくなってからみんなで探せばいいはずなのに。
If it was something we all needed, then and we all could have just looked for it together when the sun rose.
それをこんな夜中にこそこそと。
Yeah, he snuck off in the middle of the night.
まあこの状況で姉ちゃんを相手にごまかしは効かねえわな。
Well, I guess trying to pull the wool over your eyes won't work in this situation.
わかった、正直に話してやるよ。
Fine, I'll be honest with you.
ただし触りだけだがな。
However, you can only touch it.
何よそれ。耳っちい男ね。
What are you talking about?
英語さん、どうして触りだけなんですか？
Eigo, why can we only touch it?
なあお前ら。
Listen,
も
guys.
しクリア条件を満たさなくても生きて帰れる手段があるかもしれねえって言ったら信じるか？
If I said there might be a way for us to survive and get home without us needing to fulfill our clear conditions, would you believe me? Huh? Even if they didn't fulfill their clear conditions, there might be a way to survive and go home. Yuna found herself drawn to Eigo's words, but just then,
おいお前ら、すぐ建物の陰に隠れろ。
hey guys, hide behind the building now. What?
ユーナさん、こっちです。英語さんも。
Yuna, over here. You too, Eigo.
あ、分かってる。
Right, got it.
ユーナさん、早くこの弾倉を。
Yuna, here. Take the magazine.
ほら姉ちゃん、さっさと銃を用意しろ。
Hey girl, get the gun ready.
分かってるわよ。
I know. Yuna took the magazine from Akira and tried to load the gun. But it wouldn't go in.
なんで？
Why?
バカ野郎、マガジンの裏表が逆だ。
You dumbass. You got the magazine upside down.
逆？
Huh? Upside down?
もういいから俺によこせ。
Look, just give it to me. Eigo said that and grabbed the magazine and the gun. In the blink of an eye, he loaded the gun, pulled the slide with trained handling, and pointing the muzzle at the woods. And just then, they saw two human figures in the woods who seemed to be having a gunfight, running off into a different direction. Before long, the sounds faded away, leaving only a tense silence in the village.
行ったみたいですね。
Looks like they're gone, huh? Yeah.
今の撃ち合いはどうやら俺らには関係なかったみたいだな。森の中で予想外に鉢合わせでもしたんだろう。
Looks like that gunfight, nothing to do with us. Looks like some unexpected confrontations are happening in the woods.
驚かせやがって。
Damn it. Don't scare me like that.
ユーナさん、大丈夫ですか？
Yuna, are you okay?
あれ？ユーナさん？
Huh? Yuna?
ええ、平気よ。
Yeah. I'm fine. It was the first real gunshot she'd heard in her life. Cold sweat ran down Yuna's whole body as the reality that she truly was in a life or death game sank in. Just then, she noticed something and gasped. The Sig Sauer P228. Eigo was currently holding it. And what's more, there was already a bullet in the chamber.
おい、なんだよ姉ちゃん。人の手元をジロジロ見やがって。ん？ああ、もしかしてこいつを気にしてんのか？
Hey, what is it, girl? What are you staring at my hand for? Huh? Oh, you're worried about this, aren't you? Eigo lifted the gun. If he pulled the trigger right now, he could take Yuna's life away in an instant. That one with Akira too, who was right beside her.
何ビビってやがんだよ。いい加減少しは俺を信用しろよ。
Dumbass. What are you so scared about? How about having a little faith in me for once? Huh?
ほら、こいつはお前が管理するんだろうが。
Here, you're in charge of this, remember? Yuna stared at the gun Eigo held out to her. The gun was still loaded with magazine.
なあ姉ちゃん。まだ俺が気に食わねえって言うなら、こいつで俺を撃てばいい。
Hey, girl. If you still can't stand me, you can just shoot me with this.
だが先に言っとくが、そんなことをすりゃ運営の思うツボだぜ。連中は俺らの仲間割れを心待ちにしてるんだからな。
Just so you know, if you did that, we'd be falling right into the administrators, doing exactly what the administrators want. To try and break us up. Huh?
エゴさん、それどういう意味ですか？
Eigo, what do you mean by that?
考えてもみろよ。このゲームフィールドにはそこら中にカメラが仕掛けられている。
Think about it. There are cameras set up all over this game field.
じゃあそのカメラの向こう側には一体誰がいると思う？運営は何のためにこんなことをやってんだ？
And just who do you think are on the other side of those cameras? Why are the administrators doing
こ
this?
のゲームはな、この世の快楽をむさぼり尽くしてどうにもならなくなったクソどもを満足させるためのショーなんだよ。
This game is a show in order to please those shitbags who seek the most depraved entertainment in this world.
つまり僕たちは今もその人たちに見られていると。
So in other words, you're saying those people are watching us now?
いや、それだけじゃねえ。このゲームで誰が生き残るのか、プレイヤーは賭けの対象にもなってるっていう話だ。
No, that's not all. They're also betting on who will live in this. I'm also talking about they're also betting on who will survive this game.
そんな。
No way.
でも、あんたがどうしてそんな話を？
But how do you know that?
だから餅は餅屋だって言ったろ。
Like I said, every man knows his own business best, right?
俺はな、正真正銘の刑事なんだぜ。このくらいの噂、そりゃいくらでも耳にするさ。
I'm a bona fide detective, you know? I hear rumors like that every now and then.
だがまさか自分がこのゲームに参加させられるなんて思ってもみなかったがな。
I never thought I, of all people, would end up in this game.
ああ、やだね。この調子だと警察の上層部もどっかで運営とつながってるに決まってるぜ。
Man, this sure blows. Judging from this means that the administrators have got to have the police in their pocket as well.
まったく。真面目に刑事やってきたのがアホらしくなってくる。
Damn. I feel like such a dumbass for taking my job seriously.
けどよ、
But you know.
そうは言っても俺は刑事なんだ。ここまでコケにされて黙っていられるわけがねえ。
Even so, I am still a detective. I'm not gonna stay quiet after they made such a punk out of me.
だから俺は今のうちにできることはやっておこうと思ったんだ。連中の思惑通りに動くのは尺だからな。
That's why I'm planning on doing whatever I can right now. I'll be damned if I play along with those bastards.
それでクリア条件を満たす以外の手段は？
And that's why you're looking into a way for us to fulfill our clear condition. For us to a way for us to get out of this without fulfilling our clear condition. Yeah.
でもどうして一人でやろうとするのよ。そんな手段があるならみんなで協力した方が。
Why are you trying to do it on your own? If that's what you're after, wouldn't it be better for us to all do it together?
いや、そいつはダメだ。
No, that's no good.
まだ実際できるかどうかわからねえし、俺たちは常に監視されているんだ。この会話だってどうせ盗聴されている。
I can't tell if it'll actually work or not, and we're constantly being monitored anyway. Knowing them, they're probably listening in on our conversation even now.
だから確証が持てるまでは、連中にこっちの手の内を明かしたくはねえ。
So I don't want to tip my hand off until I've guaranteed it'll work.
それにだ。
And plus,
もし運営が俺の行動を阻止しようとゲームに介入してきたとしても、その時の対象は俺だけってことにしときたいんだ。
even if the administrators intervene with the game in order to stop me, I want them to only go after me in that case.
どうしてですか？
Huh? Why is that?
それはだから。
Well, that's
大人の勝手な意地にお前らみたいな若造どもを巻き込みたくねえからだよ。
because I don't want youngins like you to get caught in this with the nonsense of a stubborn old man like me. You know, had constantly held the idea that Ago was never a man who let his guard. She couldn't let her guard down with. Who'd never let his guard down. When she saw that embarrassed smile on Ago's face, and that little unique cute side of his.
ユナさん？
おい姉ちゃん、笑うなんてひどいじゃねえか。
Hey girl, it's rude to laugh, you know.
ごめんごめん。
I'm sorry.
あんたが案外まともな刑事だったんだと思うとなんかおかしくて。
It's just so hilarious when I thought how you were actually a proper
だ
detective.
から俺は最初からそう言ってただろうが。
That's what I've been telling you from the start.
ね、そうだったわね。
Yeah, you sure are right about that. What had you been so scared of Ago for up until now? Yuna finally felt herself begin to free herself of the suspicion that had held her up until now.
ごめん、英語さん。今まで散々疑ったりして。
I'm sorry for doubting you so much up until now, Ago.
この通り。本当にごめんなさい。
I'm really sorry. I mean it. Yuna bowed her head low. She had heard Ago speak with a little bewilderment.
おいおい、お前が俺のことをエゴさんってか。
Oh, well, now you're calling me Ago?
ああ、分かってくれりゃそれでいいさ。俺の態度だっていろいろまずいところがあったからな。
As long as you understand, that's fine. I admit my attitude might have made you a bit sorry. I admit that my attitude is to blame too.
本当に？じゃあ全部許してくれるのね。
Really? Then you'll forgive everything, right?
全部って、まあそうだな。
Everything? Well, I guess.
じゃあ私と英語さんの間にはもう何のわだかまりもないっていうことよね。
There's no more hard feelings between us, right?
あ？
Huh?
それじゃあ私リーダーである英語さんに頼みたいことがあるんだけど、そういうのもいいのよね。
I have a little something to ask of you since you are a leader. That's fine, isn't it?
なんだよ頼みたいことって。まあ内容によっては聞いてやっても構わねえが。
Huh? What are you talking about? Well, as for something I can do, then I can at least hear you out. Yuna nodded. She then looked at the object she'd barely been able to handle a short while ago in her hands.
英語さん、私に銃の使い方を教えてほしいの。
Ego, I want you to teach me how to use a gun. Huh?
だって悔しいじゃない？いざっていう時に守られるだけなんて。
I mean, doesn't it make you frustrated to only be protected when the chips are down?
私はそういうか弱いタイプの人間じゃない。
I'm not that frail kind of person.
だから英語さんお願いします。
So please, Ego.
なんなのかねこの変わりようは。随分とまあすっきりした顔しやがって。
What's with the sudden change here, you know? You're looking quite, well, how do I put it? More relaxed.
違う違う、変わったんじゃなくて元に戻ったのよ。
I haven't changed. I'm just going back to my old self.
ああそうかい。はいはい、わかったよ。
Oh, is that right? Alright then, fine, I get it.
だが今日はもう遅い。こう暗くっちゃ教えるっつってもいちいち手間だしな。
But it's already late today. It's too dark to really be doing. Take too long to teach you in this darkness.
だから明日になったら教えてやる。
So I'll teach you tomorrow. Ego said, then smiled at Yuna. Yuna looked to find Akira smiling as well, smiling happily as well. If she'd pointed a gun at Ego back then, it was most likely that her relationship with Ego would have been completely destroyed. And so it was that Yuna felt heartfelt gratitude to Akira. And then, a little later on that night, a woman lay deep in the forest, bound and gagged, tied up to a thick tree. She desperately seeked help, but no one responded. What was happening? What was going to happen to her at this rate? However, with her not understanding a thing, she has passed her time in fear. Before long, her voice devolved into sobs, but they reached no one's ears, and merely disappeared into the darkness enveloping the forest. Day 2. Alright, so we're going to stop here for now. So yeah, that was the beginning of the route. But as we can all see, this is Yuna's first game with Akira. Seeing what she was like beforehand, how Akira influenced her and the other players. We'll have to see how that goes next time, though. But as you can probably guess, this is since it's an extra route that was made exclusively for the PC version. What was it? How I put this? They obviously couldn't make basically there's gonna be some obvious how do I say, not budget cuts, but like they had to cut corners in certain places because of how limited of assets they could obviously use for this sort of thing. So won't be a full-blown route like the others, but should be still enough. So until next time, I'll see you all later.